Hey guys, I just thought I'd do a quick update of the old Bandit. Been to pick some bits and pieces up today, and I'll give you a quick look in a sec. So it's coming along. I've got some more bits coming in the post. A friend of mine sending me some stuff down in the post, which is pretty cool. And I'm going up to pick some other bits up as well. So I'm going to have doubles of things, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day I can always use them or move them on or put them to one side for another project at some point. So basically, I'll give you a quick look and see what we got. Right, so as you guys know, I had a frame before, just a basic frame. I haven't done anything to the frame. I haven't got anything to do anything with at the moment. But basically, what I went and picked up the other day was that's a CB, the Bandit 6 rear swing arm, Bandit 12 rear wheel, got a Bandit 12 front wheel. It's got a bit of damage on it on one side. That's an old bearing off my other bike. Go over there. These discs look bad, but to be fair, I think they'll be alright with a bit of a clean up. But I do have some others over there in a minute, but I will show you that. But I'll show you this as well. I think basically somebody slidden off, took a big chunk out of the tyre there and a bit of damage on the wheel here. As far as I can tell, the wheel's straight, there's no dents or bucklings in it, so that'll be fine. I'm not worried about a little bit of a nick out of it. I could soon do something with that and fettle it and make it look nice. Right, forks. This is what I have. Now, anybody that among you that's going to know this, they are not Bandit forks. I can tell you that straight away. I thought they were at first, but they're not. The guy that got them off says, "Oh yeah, they're definitely Bandit." They're not Bandit. They are FZR 600 or Phaser 600 forks, which surprisingly is a little bit of a bonus. In all honesty, this bit up here, these are 41mm, which is the same as what the 600 yokes are, which is fine. But also, to my acknowledgement, these are 100mm, which is perfect because I'll show you what I've got over there in just a sec. But that's perfect, which means you get a bit more variety on calipers as well. Now these will fit into the 600 yokes, which is fine, which will give you the same space. The only difference or difficulty I'm going to have is the bearings. The bearings in here have got to be changed. These are 20mm in a diameter, and the 600 are 17. So I've got to switch out the bearings, which I've got to switch down to. I've got to remember now. I think it's 47, 17, 14, or 12. 12, I think it is, because they're at 11mm to 12mm. So basically, I've got to make some spacers up for here. Off the wheel, and I've got to make some spacers for the calipers as well, just to sit them in the right place, but they do fit. I've had a quick mock-up just to make sure they will fit. I possibly will switch the discs out to the other ones because I think they're a different profile to these, which will be fine. And the other thing is I don't know what speedo I'm running yet, if I'm going to run one, but I think the 600 one will fit. If it doesn't, then I'm going to drop the 1200 one on, and I'll have to make a little bit of a shim just to sit the speedo in the right place so that obviously it's going to work, rather than using a spacer. I mean, if it doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. I'll just put a GPS speedo on, you know, simple as that, or I'll just use my phone. I'm not that bothered. A few more bits to do on the frame. This has got to be repaired at some point. It's just gone rotten, but that's not an issue. It's just a piece of tube. I saw some tubing at last. Been looking through various bits and pieces, and there's a company down the road from me that actually does a lot of tubing. I can get like, I think it was 4 meters or 6 meters. No, wait a minute. 4 meters of 45mm tube for 40 quid delivered. So I mean, that's a 1.5mm wall. That'll be more than thick enough for what I'm doing. I mean, most of these in here aren't more than 1.5. That's definitely not more than 1.5. These frames are really, really thin. They're heavy, but they're thin. Most of the weight, I think, is in the back end anyway on these, to be honest with you. So, but anyway, I say I've got some tubing coming. That won't be till after Christmas. Now, there's no one going to get it before. But I was looking at other tubing, and there's companies out there that want to charge you 45 quid for 2 meters of mild steel tubing. I was like, I'm not paying that. There's no way. I'm going to source a better thing. I've got a 1200 shock. It's a basic 1200 shock. Seems alright to me. I'll probably just end up using that anyway, because basically as you can see, I've got the swing arm sort of in there. I haven't got a pivot bolt. I've got to get one, and I've got another swing arm coming, so it should have the rest of the little bits and pieces that I need as well, which would be great because it's got a hub carrier disc, everything. It's got a 600 wheel in it, but that doesn't matter because I can switch it out, and everything off the 600 wheel will fit on that 1200 wheel, which would be spot on. What else was I going to say? Yeah, basically the shock. Normally you get the shock. Obviously, you mount on here and it goes straight down. And it goes down to some dog bones. Well, this lot all under here. That's all going. Getting rid of all that. And I'm going to mount it the same way as what they mount them on the CBRs. Some of the CBRs, which basically is you go from there to there. So you take your shock. I know this won't fit because it's the wrong size because everything's in place at the moment. You basically take your shock, put it into where you want to mount it, and then you bolt it up so it just sits like that on your frame. Simple, easy, done. Don't got to worry about it. No need for dog bones because I can set the preload on the shock to low as possible, and then I can sort of work out the height of where the swing arm's going to sit. It's probably sitting about the right height at the moment. I know it's balanced on a few things, but that's kind of the way it's going to be for a minute. Best I can do. I've got to probably have to make a little bit of a jig up just to stop it from moving around. But to be honest, I wanted to know what distance I'd have between here. I'll put that around the other side, it's easier. I wanted to know what distance I had between here, to be honest, because the seat's going to come down here and then kick up. Now I might be able to keep with a standard swing arm looking at it, in all honesty, because it's going to be, the seat is going to be here, somewhere here. So I can kind of probably just about keep the rear seat, because I want to get it low as possible here. It's going to come here, this is going to come round. These will come round here. A lot of ghosting going on today. I wonder if hang on, just clean the lens a little bit, see if that helps. No, that's just made it worse. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is that will come round. So as you look at it, that will come in there, and that will be the support for the seat, which will be somewhere around here. Obviously got to allow for the movement of the rear wheel and the tyre on there as well, so we'll probably be about there, and then the rest of the seat will come down into it. So I might be able to keep the rear seat as it is. I was going to keep the rear shock but on the dog bones, but to be fair, the way I'm going to mount it is going to be completely different anyway, because I want to cut this swing arm up. I don't want to use this swing arm. Being the fact that these are steel, the only bit I really need is this piece in between here. Because I can cut all this off. You see, this is all going to go. I'm going to make a custom swing arm. The reason I'm going to make a custom swing arm is I'm going to reuse this back piece because it's got the oval bit cut in, and for the adjusters. So I'll make the tubing come over the top of that, and I'll somehow feather it together and weld it all up, and basically it'll be just as strong. It'll work. Whatever I do, it'll work. It's only so I don't lose that bit. So that bit there will be cut off somewhere there, and then I'll make the tubing sit around this, so I can still get the adjusters and everything in the back, and I'll have a little bit of a play with it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the swing arm along, and I'm going to come past, and somewhere here I'm going to bend it there, and I'm going to swing it in, and then bring it back round. So that will come round like that. Okay, follow that? And that side will come in as normal, along there, into there, onto that side. This side will come in off here, and it will bend and then come back round. Now somebody's going to say, oh, what are you doing that for? Well, the reason I'm going to do that for is because I'm going to bend this round here. I'm going to drop the shock in. Where are we? Focus. I'm going to drop the shock in, and the shock will sit down here somewhere, so it'll bolt on there. And the reason I'm doing that is because this is where the exhaust is going to sit. The exhaust is going to come up obviously from underneath, and it's going to sit here, pretty much where that is. So I want the swing arm to bend round it. Okay? Because I don't want the exhaust sticking out the side up here or anything like that, because it would just look shit. So I've decided that I'm going to bend it round and bring the exhaust up here, and it's just going to sit there with probably a little bit of a tailpipe. And I'll tell you what I'm going to make the exhaust out of. Ta-da! There's one exhaust can. Well, will be when it's finished. A little bit of baffling, a little bit of wadding inside there just to keep the noise down, the resonance down a little bit. I'll cut the top off. I'll get a sleeve, reduce a sleeve made with a little bit of a kick round on it, and then that will sit inside of there, somewhere like that, and that'll be it. Done, sorted, easy. And that's pretty much it really. Oh, I'll show you them calipers as well in a sec. So yeah, that's the idea for the swing arm, which would be pretty cool. I say I've already done that piece at the top. I think I've shown you all this anyway. That's where all the electrics and everything's going. So it should sit lower than normal. Right, calipers. When I went and picked them forks up the other day, guess what came with it? A lot of you will recognise those. They're blue spot calipers, radial calipers. I think they're radial calipers. Correct me if I'm wrong. These I got at a bargain price. I know these are quite sought after for a lot of builds and for a lot of bikes. I got a pair. There's the other one. Look. And this is the other set of discs that I've got as well, that you gave me. So I mean, I didn't do too bad. I got everything pretty cheap, to be honest. There's only one issue I did notice, was the fact that that's supposed to be threaded in there, and I think it's fucked. But it's not the end of the world, because what I can do is I can use these forks and mock up, and I can get a set of bottom, I've said 600 bottom forks for 30 quid. So it's not the end of the world, I say. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. That is as it is. Engine's coming next week. So I did a little bit of a road trip up for that, so we'll get a video of that going, and then we'll put that up. So that'll be pretty cool. Got my mates come pick me up to do that. So we're gonna have a road trip up there. And anything else that he's got, and I say when that other package turns up, I'll get that done as well. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for now. I know it's a pretty long-winded and boring video, but I just thought I'd give you a quick update on what is going on and what I'm going to do as and when the time comes. But you can see, I'll stand back here now, you can see it's starting to resemble something, so it's getting there slowly. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, a couple of weeks after Christmas, the fab work will start, which would be cool. Right, stay safe, and I shall catch you on the next video.